What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And let's get into it, my friends. Here we are at about $2.12, just below there right now. Down on the day about 4%. Bitcoin itself is down 2%. So keeping up this 2-to-1 drop speed versus Bitcoin, apparently. I don't know if it persists. I don't think that you're going to drop twice as much as Bitcoin, but if you do, let's go over that, right? So Bitcoin here probably drops about another 13 to 14% from its current price. If that happens, and XRP keeps up this 2-to-1 drop ratio, that would give us a 26 to 28% drop, right? That'd be at about $1.50 to about $1.50 to $1.56, I should say. $1.50, $1.56. And that could imply that XRP does, in fact, go below these areas that we've been long expecting to hold. My expectation back at these highs was that XRP would not drop at a 2-to-1 ratio versus Bitcoin, right? That was the full expectation, but it looks like it's doing that so far, and it's been keeping up at that pace so far. We'll see if it does. I wouldn't be surprised if XRP still found support above this high, but to see that, you would need some implied volatility because this low here is only 11% away. And if Bitcoin drops to the areas that we're anticipating it to drop to, which would be something around 22 to 20, it's not 22, my bad. What am I talking about? 71 to 72K. That would be about a 13% drop from here. If Bitcoin drops 13%, I can't see XRP dropping less than that, especially at the current rate that it's at now. So it's looking more likely that we do break below this low, and that's fine. That's fine. It's a little bit outside the expectations of what we had last week, but we didn't expect to move down this fast either. So maybe you move at a 2-to-1 pace. Maybe you just move at a slightly faster pace, and you still hold this low. But the same message as it was back then, even when we were less expecting that you'd go below this low, even now when we're more expecting that you can. When I say more expecting, I don't mean that I'm expecting more so that the expectation is to go below this low. I just mean, I don't mean that. I still do expect that you'll find support above this low here. But I'm just accepting this more as a likelihood now that you could go below that low. Okay. And I am under the impression, at least as of now, that you do go below this low as well. The only thing that would change that is if, Bitcoin chills for a moment. Maybe it's a period in a day, maybe it's a day itself, and XRP gets some kind of pop up, a nice pop up from where it can drop at a higher price. That way, when Bitcoin drops 16% or so, XRP might drop 21%, right? But it can't, right now, it doesn't make sense to think that this low will hold if that in itself is a smaller drop than what we're expecting Bitcoin to do, right? So changing the target up a little bit, that happens, and that's totally fine. I wouldn't be scared. I wouldn't be worried about XRP if it saw prices at $1.60. If it saw prices at $1.50, I wouldn't be worried about it. But it is not what I'm fully expecting. I don't think XRP has a 30% drop in it or anything like that. Maybe a 26% drop, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But just something to be aware of. If we do take this relative low here from March 11th to the relative high here on March 19th, that is your 1618 area. And I would assume that there are a lot of people who bought XRP up in this overall range. I'm going to get rid of this white line here. Up in this overall range that believe that if you break below this low, that means XRP is dead. It's breaking market structure. We're going to zero. The bull market is a lie. And that capitulation, that capitulative moment will generate a lot of liquidity for people with the smart money to buy up, the dumb money to sell, and then get ready for that rocket ship moon ride to the land of the promise at $11 to $15, maybe even $16 there. None of the upside targets have changed. The downside targets have changed a little bit, right? There's still a chance where you don't go below $1.89. Is that even the right low? That doesn't even look like. Yeah, it is. There's still a chance where you don't go below this low, but likely you do at this point. I would say that the likelihood has shifted. The likelihood that you go below this low is not necessarily there yet, but it's more of a possibility. It's more likely now than it was before. And as we progress lower, I think we'll have a better understanding of that. If we look at where we are here on a relative low to relative high, and then just again to complete the thought, the upside targets have not changed. The downside targets are the only things that have changed. Upside targets are still the same. 837 is the minimum target, which I doubt we hit. I think that we actually go, right, I do expect that we hit, I guess. I doubt we stop there is what I should say. I do expect that we see prices surge through $10, through $11 by the end of May, if not sometime in June, right? Something like that over the coming months. It's going to be a phenomenal time. Nobody's going to expect it. Nobody's expecting it now, even less so if you take out that low, especially if you take out this low here. It's going to be a good time. But no, those targets don't change, even if you go down to $1.60 to $1.50. I just wanted to make that clear. Okay, painstakingly clear. It is uncommon. I don't care what size the fib range is, it is uncommon to just tear through the golden ratio and hit your extended zones. Okay, normally you do find some volatility. The first attempt for the golden ratio is often always, or not often always, but oftentimes, 99% of the time it works 100% of the time. No, or is it 70% of the time, 60% of the time, it works 100% of the time, whatever that quote is. It's not like that. I'm just saying that a good bit of the time, finding support at the golden ratio on the first attempt is what you do. You then find resistance at the 382 to the 0.5 area and then proceed going lower and stuff like that. It's oftentimes not just a straight shot through. It can be, especially if Bitcoin's just doing its thing. Hold on, guys, man. I got to clear this out. Annoying. Super annoying, man. I'll get it taken care of someday. Maybe when I'm on vacation, I can go to like an international doctor or something like that. And hopefully I don't get robbed of my kidneys. Low to high here. I don't know. I don't know how it all works. Maybe I should look that up, actually. Maybe I should. Anyways, thoughts here. But I'm going to the Caribbean, so that's, I don't know if they're known for, you know, that part of the world is known for some nefarious medical mishaps sometimes, right? And good stuff too. Don't get me wrong. There's plenty of good stuff that goes on too, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm just thinking out loud here. I hope I'm not offending anybody, but if I am, I'm just kind of making jokes and being serious at the same time. But we're at $2.10 right now. I would expect that we go up to 221 to 230, something like that, before heading lower. If you do go lower, then I would expect that you find support at $2.02 to $2 or $1.96 somewhere in this zone, and then move up to the golden ratio, basically the same area that you're at now, and then continue to go lower. I am anticipating that you will find support at about $1.73 to $1.55. That's the expectation, okay? Daily RSI looking like it's geared for the downside. I do believe that we're going to go to the downside here and see some oversold readings. You probably get more oversold than you have been on the past couple of times, but we'll see. 4-hour RSI here, pretty oversold. You have a relative double bottom, so it really would not surprise me at all if we did start to move up, but it depends, right? Again, if you start to move up, if you see prices at 220, 230, this is not your low. Yes, it is the golden ratio. And yes, the golden ratio is common for support, but even on the way down, it's common to find support there the first time, right? The second attempt will likely be the time that you break through it. And sometimes, less common, you do break through the golden ratio on the first attempt, and in which case I would expect that you find resistance somewhere in this zone, okay? It can happen. It has happened a lot this cycle. We'll see if it does. You have actually broken through it on a 4-hour basis, back tested the golden ratio as resistance, and you could be in a setup for this, but I like the 4-hour RSI. I guess I don't. It actually looks pretty bad, but I do like it for a double bottom here. I think that might indicate that you're going higher. Bullish divergence on the 1-hour, kind of, yeah, kind of, I guess so. And that would call for a move up probably to the 0.5. So probably not 230. I bet you do find resistance at 220, 222, something like that. In that area, you probably move up there maybe for the rest of the day, or maybe just over the coming hours, and then on the last part of the day, that last couple hours of the day, you start to drop back down. I don't know, but do expect some implied volatility. Don't get thrown off if we come up here, then we find support down here. Don't buy the notion that this is some kind of inverse head and shoulders pattern. It won't be. We're going lower. We're probably going to go below $2. And at this rate, I would even be surprised if we didn't go below $1.90. I think that we will go below $1.90, but $1.55, $1.73, that's the target area that we're anticipating. And then after that, and that probably happens over the coming days. I would think that does happen by the 2nd of April, if not maybe the 3rd or the 4th. It could happen by that time. But after this next week is done, we will be resuming the upside. We probably have our downside resolution achieved. And then from then on, guys, the only focus will be targets at $11 and beyond. I mean, technically $8.37 and beyond, but I think you really will see prices around $11 at a minimum, if not more. So that's all I got for you guys. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. No, that's not the end of the cycle predictions. That's just the next move predictions that I'm coming up with, right? End of cycle, you've got way higher prices to go, and we'll get to that in the next one, all right? Take it easy. Bye.